Call Me Desire by Tennessee Williams. I'm Sophie Picton and I will be playing the role of Stella Kowalski.
My name's Anya and I'll be playing the character of Blanche DuBois.
My name is Thompson Davies and I'll be playing the character of Stanley Kowalski, our chosen practitioner Stanislavski. What's all this stuff for?
Honey, it's Blanche's birthday.
She here, washing out some things.
I reckon so.
How long she been in there?
All afternoon?
Soaking in a hot tub?
Yeah.
Temperature had her on the nose as she soaks herself in a hot tub.
She says it cools her off for the evening.
And you went out and get her coats, I suppose, and served to her majesty in the tub. Sit down here a minute.
Stanley, I've got things to do.
I said sit down. I got to jump on your big sister, Stella.
Stanley, stop picking on Blanche.
That girl calls me common.
Lately, you've been doing all you can think of to rub her the wrong way, Stanley. And Blanche is sensitive. And you've got to realize that Blanche and I grew up under very different circumstances than you did.
And so I've been told. And told, and told, and told. You know she's been feeding this pack of lies here.
No, I don't. And
Well, she has, however. But now the cat's out of the bag. I found out some things.
what things?
Things I already suspected. But now I got proof from most reliable sources, which I have checked on.
Lower your voice.
Some canary bird, huh?
Now, please tell me quietly what you think you found out about my sister.
Lie number one. All this squeamishness she puts on. You should just hear the lines we feed to Mitch. He thought she'd never be more than kissed by a fella. But Dave Blanche is no lily. Some lily she is.
Well, what did you hear? And who from?
Our supply man down in the plant's been going through the well for years, and he knows all about her. And everybody else in the town of the well knows all about her. She's as famous in the well as if she was the President of the United States. Only she is not respected by any party. The supply man stops at a hotel called the Flamingo.
What about the Flamingo?
She stayed there too.
My sister lived at Davies.
This is after the whole place set for her lily white fingers. She moved on to the Flamingo, a second-class hotel which has the advantage of not interfering in the private social life of personalities there. The Flamingos used to all kinds going on. But even the management of the Flamingo was impressed by Dame Blanche. In fact, they were so impressed by Dame Blanche that they requested she turn in her room key for permanently. This happened a couple weeks before she showed here.
What contemptible lies.
Sure, I can see how you'd be upset by this. She pulled the wool over your eyes just as much as Mitch's.
It's pure invention. There's not a word of truth in it. And if I were a man, and this creature had dared to invent such things in my presence...
Honey, I told you I thoroughly checked on these stories. Now wait till I finish. The trouble with Dame Blanche, she couldn't keep her act going on any longer in the well. They got wised up after 2 or 3 dates with her, and then they quit. And she goes on to another. Same old lines, same old act, same old hooey. But the town was too small for this to go on forever. And as time went by, she became a town character, regarded as not just different, but downright loco nuts. And for the past year or 2, she's been washed up like poison. That's why she's here this summer, visiting Raleigh, putting on all this act. So she's practically told by the mayor to get out of town. Yes, did you know there was an army camp near Laurel and your sisters was one of the ones from Out of Bounds?
Yes, Blanche?
Give me another bath towel to dry my hair with. I've just washed it.
Yes, Blanche.
Honey, what's the matter?
Matter? What?
There's such a strange expression on your face.
Oh, I guess I'm just a little tired.
Len, perhaps you should bathe too. Well, as soon as I get out.
How soon is that gonna be?
Not so terribly long. Possess is so impatient.
It's not my soul I'm worried about. Well, what do you think of it?
I don't believe all those stories. And I think your supply man was mean and rotten to tell them. It's possible that some of the things he said are partly true. There are things about my sister I don't approve of. Things that cause sorrow at home. She was always flighty.
Flight is some word for it.
But when she was young, very young, she had an experience that killed her illusions.
Well, what experience was that?
I mean, her marriage, when she was almost a child. She married a boy who wrote poetry. He was extremely good looking. I think Blanche didn't just love him, but worshipped the ground that he walked on. Adored him, thought him almost too finely human. But then she found out.
What?
This beautiful, talented young man was a degenerate. Didn't your supply man give you that information?
All we discussed was recent history. That must have been a pretty long time ago.
Yeah, it was a pretty long time ago.
How many cans you put in that cake?
I'll stop at 25.
Company expected.
We asked Mitch to come over for cake and ice cream.
I won't be expecting Mitch over tonight.
Why?
Mitch is a buddy of mine. We were in the same outfit together. Two 41st engineers. We worked in the same plant, now on the same bowling team. You think I could face him?
Stanley Kowalski! Did you repeat what that?
You're goddamn right, I told him. I have that on my conscience my life. I know that stuff and let my best friend get caught.
Is Mitch through with her?
Wouldn't you be?
I said, is Mitch through with her?
I don't think he's necessarily through with her. Just wised up.
Stanley, Blanche thought Mitch was going to marry her. I was hoping so too.
Well, he's not gonna marry her. Maybe he was, but he's not gonna jump in a tank with a school of sharks now. Blanche! Oh, Blanche, can I please get in my bathroom?
Just give me a second so I can finish my hair.
Having waited 1 hour, I guess 1 second on a pass in a hurry.
But she hasn't got a job. What'll she do?
She's not staying here after Tuesday. You know that, don't you? Just to make sure of it, I bought her a ticket myself. A bus ticket.
In the first place, Blanche wouldn't get on a bus.
She'll go on a bus and like it.
No, she won't. No, she won't, Stanley.
She'll go, period. P.S. She'll go Tuesday.
What'll she do? What on earth will she do?
Her future is mapped out for her.
What do you mean?
Hey, canary bird, Toots, get out of the bathroom! Must I speak more plainly?
Feels so good after my hot bath. Yes, I do. So good and cool and rested. A hot bath and a long cold drink always gives me a brand new outlook on life. What's the matter?
Nothing has happened, Blanche.
You're lying. Something has. Stanley, tell us a joke. Tell us a funny little story to make us all laugh. I don't know what's the matter. You're so solemn. Is it because I've been stood up by my beau? Well, it's the first time in my entire experience of men, and I've had a good deal of all sorts, that I've actually been stood up by anybody. I don't know how to take it. Tell us a funny little story, Stanley. Something to help us out.
I didn't think you liked my stories, Blanche.
Well, I like them when they're amusing, but not indecent.
Well, I don't know anywhere fine enough for your taste.
Well, let me tell them then.
Yes, you tell one, Blanche. You know lots of good stories.
Let me see now. I must run through my repertoire. Oh, yes. I love parrot stories. Do you like parrot stories? Well, this one's about the old maid and the parrot. This old maid, she had a parrot that cursed a blue streak and knew more vulgar expressions than Mr. Kowalski. And the only way to hush the parrot up was to slip the cover on his cage so think it was night and go back to sleep. Well, this one morning, who'd she see walking up the front way but the preacher? So she rushed back to the parrot, slipped the cover on his cage so think it was night and go back to sleep. And she met the preacher, and just as she was asking how much sugar he wanted in his coffee, well, the parrot broke the silence with a loud and said, "God damn, well, that's a short day." Oh, God. Apparently, Mr. Kowalski was not amused.
Mr. Kowalski is too busy making a pig of himself to think of anything else. Your face and your fingers are disgustingly greasy. Go wash up and then help me clear the table.
That's how I clear the table. Don't ever talk to me that way. Pig, pollock, disgusting, vulgar, greasy. Them words have been on your tongue and your sister's too much around here. What do you think you are, a pair of queens? Remember what Huey Long said. Every man is a king, and I'm the king around here, so don't you forget it. There, my place is clear. You want me to clear your places?
What happened when I was being with Stella? What did he tell you?
Nothing.
You're lying. He told you about something. He told you something about Benjamin, didn't he? You won't tell me. I'm going to call him.
Oh, I wouldn't call him, Blanche.
I am. I'm going to call him on the phone.
Oh, I wish you wouldn't.
I intend to be given some explanation from somebody.
I hope you're pleased with your doings. I never had so much trouble swallowing food in my life, staring at the girl's face in the empty chair.
Hello? Mr. Mitchell, please. Oh. Well, I'd like to leave a number from me. Magnolia 9047. And say it's important. Very important. Thank you.
Stella, it's gonna be alright after she goes and after you've had the baby. The way that it was. Remember that way that it was? Them nights we had together? God, honey, it's gonna be great when we can make noise in the night the way that we used to. Get those colored lights going, nobody's sister behind the curtains to hear us.
Come back in. Blanche.
Yes? Oh, those pretty little candles. Don't burn them, Stella.
I certainly will.
Oh, no. Oh. You want to save them for the baby's birthdays. Oh, I hope candles are going to glow in his life like two blue candles lighting up white cake.
What poetry?
His auntie knows candles aren't safe. The candles burn out in little boys' and girls' eyes, and wind blows them out, and after that, electric light bulbs go on, and, well, you see too plainly.
God damn, it's hot in here with the steam from the bathroom.
I said I was sorry 3 times. I take off baths for my nerves. Hydrotherapy, they call it. You healthy pollock! Without a nerve in your body. Of course you don't know what anxiety feels like.
I am not a Pollock. People from Poland are Poles, not Pollocks. But what I am is 100% American. Born and raised on the greatest country on earth. I'm proud as hell of it. So don't ever call me a Pollock. Sister Blanche, I've got a birthday remembrance for you.
Oh, have you, Stanley? I wasn't expecting any. I don't know why Stella wants to observe my birthday. When you reach 27, well, age is subject you rather prefer to ignore.
27?
What is it? Is it for me?
Yes, it is. I hope you like it.
Why is,
Ticket. Back to Laurel on the Greyhound Tuesday. Well?
You did need to do that.
Don't forget all I took off her.
You needn't be so cruel to someone alone as she is.
Delicate piece she is.
She is. She was. You didn't know Blanche is a girl. Nobody was as tender and as trusting